Welcome to Canterbury Cast, the podcast where you'll find sermons, conversations, and all things Canterbury UMC. We're glad you're here.
Welcome to Canterbury Cast, a space where we explore faith, life, and the ways God is moving in and through our church community. I'm your host today, Jeff Nix, and I'm so glad you're here. At Canterbury, we often say we are a church of real grace and real love in the midst of real life. And today's episode is the perfect reflection of that. I'm joined by two amazing women from our contemporary worship team, Natalie Moon and Grace Williams, who are not only leading us in worship on Sundays, but who've recently stepped into the deeply personal and spirit-led work of writing original music. We'll talk about how their faith and creativity intersect, how songwriting has become part of their spiritual journey, and what it means to write music for the very community they worship with each week. So, whether you're a worshiper, a songwriter, or someone just trying to walk with God in real life, I hope this conversation speaks to you. Let's jump in. I want to start by just asking you two to just tell us a little bit about yourselves, because there might be people listening today who aren't familiar with our contemporary worship and may not know exactly who you are.
Let me go first. Well, my name is Natalie Moon, and I am in charge of the contemporary music here at Canterbury and have been since 2018. And I've been leading worship, it feels like, my entire life. I love worship music, obviously, because I do that for a living. But it really has meant so much to me. It's been such a big part of my spiritual journey. And music in general is just, it's like an emotional expression, just for your normal emotions. But when you add it to your spiritual journey, it just really, I feel like it makes my prayer life more meaningful. It connects you to other people. It's something that we can all do together and just take a moment and just have this space to connect with God. So it means a lot to me. And I love the people that I get to lead with. Jeff, who's leading this, is our fabulous drummer and also does all the other tech things around the church. And then Grace is just, awesome. You'll get to hear from her in a second. But it's a lot of fun, and it's meaningful, and it gives my life a lot of meaning. So that's part of my story.
And I'm Grace Williams. I'm from here in Birmingham, and a lot of my time is spent with my two young girls. And for the past few years, I've been playing the keys in the contemporary service here at Canterbury, and I've just loved learning so much about the musical production, learning about contemporary music, and getting to meet some really, really fun people and making a lot of new friends.
So, Grace, you mentioned that you've been playing for a couple of years now with us. When you first started playing with the worship band here, from what I understand, you hadn't really played much out before that.
No.
So what led you to say, hey, I'm gonna start playing?
Well, I had been playing piano. I started playing piano when I was young. We had a piano teacher that lived across from our house, and so fortunately I was able to go take piano lessons. And when my husband and I returned to Birmingham, we were really trying to get plugged into the community. And so we went to the contemporary service here at Canterbury, and I got to see the band play, and I just immediately fell in love with it. The music was it's so powerful, and I knew that I wanted to be a part of that. And I didn't know what that was going to look like, but I knew I really wanted to get plugged in and give back to Canterbury. And so I started by working in the sound booth, and I learned so much, and I just, continued on from there.
Can I chime in here?
Yes,
because
please
I met
do.
Grace. I met Grace at a UMW circle meeting, and she just approached me. She was just like, "I just love the music. Can I come and just watch y'all come to practice and just see what you do? I've been playing piano, for years, and I play by myself, but I just want to come." And so she came, and she would help run lights and lyrics, and then I think somebody couldn't come to practice one day, and she just wanted to hop in on the keyboard just to play around, and we're like, "You're amazing."
Thank you.
So she's also very humble because she's very, very talented, and she was like this hidden gem that is like a gift from God. So it's been fun having you as a part of the team. So
this is a great way to segue to this. Songwriting, it's a beautiful and bold step. So what was it about this journey of just leading worship in our contemporary service that led the both of you to say, hey, you know what? I want to start writing original music.
It was probably about a year after I had worked with the band, and Natalie had mentioned that she wanted to write some original music. And that's when my ears perked up, and I was like, oh, I'd love to be a part of that. I always have songs in my head. I'm always humming, always have melodies in my head. So when Natalie mentioned that, I felt comfortable we kind of started that conversation.
Oh yeah, and she just shared all these like fabulous ideas and songs that she'd written completely on her own. Yeah, similar. It's always been a goal of mine. I love part of the reason I love music is like it is like that emotional expression, and I think that's kind of what it is for me. Just getting your own experience out there that hopefully that resonates with other people, and it's been really fun collaborating too. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
So what was it like bringing your first song to the team and say, hey, let's put this together?
I was definitely nervous because when I was writing music, you can have an artist singing in your head. You can have that voice in your head, or you can have Natalie's beautiful voice in your head when you're writing the music. But for the first song I presented, it was a demo that I made that was my voice and my singing, and y'all played it over the big speakers. And I just remember I was so nervous, but so excited at the same time. And I'm so glad that I did that and put myself out there, because, sharing something that you've written can be very vulnerable. But, it's more than just the melodies and the lyrics. It's your perspective on a topic. And so that can be hard. It can be challenging to talk about some of those things. And so, but it was always encouraging to hear how everybody connects to the song that you write.
And it's beautiful. She's kind of being humble too, because she has a great voice, and it's beautiful. But I agree. It's kind of, you're putting yourself out there, and it's just something that you wrote and something that you were thinking. And, but everybody on our team is so nice and so like encouraging and so talented. So, it feels like a really safe place to share, So, yeah.
Well, so, kind of behind the scenes, what does the process look like when you're writing? Do you start off by yourself? Do you immediately start collaborating? Or
So I always start with melody. That's always what comes to me first. And I'll start on the piano with a few chord progressions. And then what I'll do is I'll sing what's called the top line vocals over those chord progressions. And oftentimes, what I'm singing is not the lyric. It's just the singing melody. And that's usually about the point where I'll bring it to Natalie, and then we'll start to kind of collaborate on what is the emotion of the song, how does it make us feel, what are the lyrics that match how this song sounds.
You ask a great question too. You're like, what do you picture when you hear this melody? Like, I feel like that's a great place to start because, puts us on the same page, the mental picture you have when you hear it.
And then slowly we move from the mumbles of what we hope the lyrics will turn into actual real words and lyrics and meaning to the song.
So what's your next step in that when you start writing lyrics? What does that look like for you?
It feels like I use the word emotions a lot. It feels like a big emotional dumping ground. Like you're like, this is what I'm feeling, and just kind of what your personal experience has been, because I think it's intimidating writing about God, because it's God. And you're like, is this correct? Is this the right way, the right lens in which to view your faith? But somebody told me a long time ago that if it's true to you in a moment, it's probably going to resonate with someone else too, because we're not islands, and we're not usually emotions and experiences are pretty universal. So even if it isn't, particularly a correct way to look at it, that it is a truth, and it's part of your faith journey. And so anyway, it's really just getting all my thoughts and emotions out. That's kind of how I feel.
And talking about faith, it really can be so intimidating, but I have found that in songwriting, it really allows you to open up and talk, about things and subjects that you may not have been able to put into words.
It kind of feels like our little Bible study.
Yeah.
Because if you could see where some of these songs started, we're like, is this true? I was like, is that right? When we were talking about the beacon, we're like, is the beacon broken, or is it shining?
Yeah.
Or what is it?
The beacon should be shining.
So do you struggle with any time or feel pressure about getting the theology or language just right? Or how do you balance that, spiritual reflection with creative expression?
Yeah, that's yes, all those things. I think it is. It feels intimidating, but my husband is a minister, so I kind of have a little resource there to go run things by him. But theology, it sounds like this big word, but it's really our relationship with God. And so in that sense, anytime that you're pursuing being a faithful person, I think there's a lot of honesty there. And I think at least that's what resonates with me in songs, is if I feel like the person's being honest and they're really trying to pursue their faith, it feels real. Even if I don't even if, Jeff, this, when we talk about songs for worship on Sunday, we'll be like, I love this song, but this line really bothers me. And we try to find a way to work around it. Or, so I think the things that really resonate with me about songs are the emotions and the honesty behind it. And so I hope that is what comes out, when we write songs,
So hearing the congregation sing your words, for the first time, what did that feel like?
Yeah, it's very humbling to have something that was, once just a thought in our heads turn into something very collective. And, watching other people sing the words that we worked to perfect, it's really neat. It's really neat. And I just feel really grateful that I'm able to use this gift and let it benefit other people in their own personal path, their own personal journey.
I know, and y'all know me, and I cry a lot, apparently. But it is emotional. It's crazy. It is you see how connective it is. You see how, I don't know, you just feel connected to other people, and you feel like this is faith is something that we get to do together. It's a joy to do it together, and we get to share experiences together. So it's, it's pretty emotional. So
we haven't talked about any specific songs that you've written, and I know y'all have written about 4 or 5 now. Is there any particular song that really just speaks to you?
I have really enjoyed writing "Light of the World" with Natalie. It, in terms, I always go to melody. In terms of melody, I think it's a really powerful song, but also, the words and the meaning behind it, always having that ability to find the light and knowing that it's always there and always shining.
Oh, yeah. That one was so much fun because I feel like it was really the first one we collaborated really well on. I feel like where we finally were on the same page, because it kind of takes a while to get, if you have
There's
this idea.
Art to collaborations.
Yes, it is challenging sometimes.
Especially when you've just been writing by yourself, and then coming together, and there's definitely an art to it.
Yeah.
And that one
was so much fun. Mm-hmm. And we kind of had the same ideas. Like we were both thinking light, and so that really was a lot of fun to collaborate on. And I just love, I'm going to have to talk about Never Gonna Let Go, this first one that Grace brought to us, because it's just a beautiful, beautiful song. And I actually, my cousins asked me to sing it, and my uncle passed away recently, and in his funeral, and it was just this gorgeous moment of the words. If you're not familiar with them, it's the words "never gonna let go." It just felt so. It felt so honest and real in that moment, and that song really means a lot to me, even though I had no part in writing it. But I connected with it so much, and I just love it, and how you put the music and the words together there. So it's a lot of fun.
Let's listen to one of those songs now.
The beacon was shining, and I just went and walked on by. I could have lived in a lighthouse and never even seen the light. It may be all in my head, all these cares that I'm turning from. Even when I think I'm hidden, you radiate with love. Light of the world. Light of the world, out of the darkness, out of the cold, the warmth of your love awaits. Light of the world, you expose all my weakness and help me to find the strength. Show me that I can make it even through my wildest days. Illuminate the way that moves me to your heart. And I may run in circles, but you lead me through the dark. Light of the world. Light of the world, out of the darkness, out of the cold, the warmth of your love awaits. Light of the shine through the chaos, shine through the fire. Open the skies, light up my life. Shine through the dark, shine through the light. Shine
what I really like about that song too is the bridge and the build up in the bridge, and then how it just explodes into, and then all the instruments just kind of pull back, and then you just really, really feel that main part of the song, that light of the world part. That was a really fun part to write.
I know. And I love like the image of light, you know, obviously is so powerful because it just permeates everything. And like those moments in our lives where you can't see, or you just feel, you know, you feel a little lost, or you feel whatever, you know, there's lots of times in your life where you need light. And I feel like that song expresses that feeling really well, and what it feels like when light finally does come into your life. And so I thought it was a lot of fun to write and try to make come to life.
It's a beautiful song for sure. So if someone's listening and they want to think about writing, you know, what would you say to them to encourage them to start writing music?
I would say just start, just sit down. Don't worry about being perfect. Just start with whatever chords or tune that you have in your head. Write down the words that you're hearing, and just, you know, not worry about being perfect. And if you're lucky enough to have a community like Canterbury, or have a communication department like Canterbury does, then just jump in.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Just start writing, because you should see some of the words that we write down are just ridiculous. Like, it's just like stream of conscious. And I think, you know, just start doing it and make it a practice. I think that's one thing that's helped me, like us writing together, is that it's more of a habit than it used to be. And that really helps. So, and then also find people to write with that also like it, because that really helps too. Mm-hmm. If you can find someone as talented as Grace, then that helps a lot.
And Natalie.
Well, this has been so much fun talking to you both about writing and what it's meant to you both. Before we wrap up, just for fun, what worship song or artist are you like really loving right now? Like what song's on repeat?
On repeat. Okay, we're playing it this week. It's Tend by Emmy Rose with Bethel, but it's about growing in God and cutting away the things, like, you know, kind of the image of a plant or a garden, and the things in our lives that aren't serving us anymore need to be cleared away to make room for more growth. And I think it speaks to me. I got to go on the Church John Wesley trip, and like my favorite thing about that trip was learning about the Wesley brothers and how they weren't perfect people, but they kept moving towards faith and moving towards holiness and trying to be better people. And it's just pretty inspiring. And especially as a United Methodist, it's very inspiring. And I think that's like a big part of our faith. So Tend by, I'm gonna have to look up if it's Emmy or Emma Rose, but it's like constantly playing in my car. So enjoy, everyone.
And I was going to say the same thing, because that song's been stuck in my head for the past 24 hours.
We need to write a garden song.
I will also say Lauren Daigle. We play a lot of her music, and it's a lot of fun playing her songs.
Yeah, that's fun.
Well, Natalie, Grace, thank you so much for sharing your stories and your hearts. It's clear that your songs come from a place of deep faith, honesty, and love for the church. To our listeners, thank you for joining us. Here at Canterbury, we're all about real grace and real love in the midst of real life. And conversations like this remind us that God is working in the everyday moments, even in the creative process of a song. If you haven't heard these songs yet, be sure to listen for them in worship, and stay tuned for recordings coming soon. Yes. Until next time, keep listening, keep creating, and keep your heart open to the new thing God might be doing for you.
Thanks for listening. To learn more about what's going on at Canterbury, follow us on social media or visit our website at canterburyumc.org.